Hi, it's Brandy Fugate here. Just wanted to give you a quick update about the OFA down payment assistance program. Interest rates were just released this morning, April 7th at 10 a.m. Check out these interest rate, guys. Some of these interest rates are substantially lower than the actual FHA current interest rate or the conventional interest rates. Look at this one. If you are a teacher or a state employee, or SHIELD, which SHIELD would be any of our first responders. So that would be police, firemen, and paramedics. You can get an FHA loan at 6.125% today, and the down payment assistance is 3.5%. Let me show you what that would look like. If you were to, this example I have on the screen is a $180,000 sales price. You would finance all but the 3.5% down payment. That down payment, by the way, is $6,300. That's the amount of the grant that you would get. So you would be borrowing $173,000. If you did this particular program, again, 183,000 or $180,000 sales price, you'd have about $2,400 in lender charges, about $2,000 in title company fees, about $359 in county and government fees, and then you'd have about $2,200 to start your escrow account. Those are your prepaid items to pay your first year of homeowners insurance, and then about a 3 to 4 month cushion of homeowners insurance and property taxes, along with the interest from your closing date or the last day of the month. By the way, when you buy a home, you always get to skip a minimum of 1 month before your payment is due. So, say for example, you bought a house today, April the 7th. You wouldn't have a mortgage payment due in April nor May. Your first payment would be due June 1st. And then you would have home inspections, which range, they're roughly around $450 for a typical $180,000 house. So if you add all those closing costs together, you get about $7,500 in closing costs. And then again, you add on top of the closing costs the typical down payment, which is $6,300. So all in, it would cost you about $13,900 to buy a home. However, if you qualify for the down payment assistance through OFA, they give you a $6,300 down payment. So that completely washes the required down payment. So then all you're left is essentially needing to come up with the $7,500 in closing costs. Now, anytime you buy a home, there are some deposits you have to pay up front. You have to pay your earnest money deposit, which is roughly 1% of the sales price. In this case, I've rounded it to $1,500. And then you also have to prepay your appraisal and your inspection. So that's about $1,150. So those are items that you would pay within the first week, really within the first few days after going under contract. But then the remaining balance of about $5,000, it is not due until the closing, which is about a month later. Now, some houses are sitting on the market a little bit longer these days, which is great news if you're a buyer. And that's helping out matters because if you are very strategic about the house that you make an offer on, and when I say strategic, I mean maybe you're focusing not so much on really hot properties that just hit the market in the past week, but maybe you're looking at homes that have been on the market for 3 or more weeks. Those sellers are getting more and more inclined to help pay part of your closing cost. So if we could get the seller to pay your $5,000 in closing cost, and if we could get OFA to pay the $6,300 down payment, then literally the only thing you pay out of pocket is a $1,500 earnest money deposit and then $1,150 more for your appraisal and your inspections. And you're in that house with very little money out of pocket. And again, back to those interest rates, if you're four teachers, shield, or state employees, 6 and an 8. If not, if you don't qualify, or if you don't meet one of those qualifications, the gold is 6 and a quarter, which is still really good. And then also there are some Freddie, if you wanted to go with the conventional loan, here's the Freddie Mac conventional at 6.625. So anyway, lots of options if you're trying to buy a home and you're a first-time buyer. By the way, the definition of a first-time buyer is someone who has not owned a primary residence in the past 3 years. So lots of options for you. Let us know what else we can do to help make your home ownership a reality.